How are we doing? Um, I'm just still getting myself organised here, so bear with me. This might be one of those lives where there's not, constant chatter. There might be quiet moments, and that's fine because the point in this live is to do readings for people, um, and obviously to raise money for the GoFundMe for Rachel. What I'm going to do just now is I am going to share a link to the GoFundMe. Let me see, copy the link. Excellent. And I'm going to stick it in the chat. Um, and Deanne, I know you're here just now. I have not, you know, prepared. Like I've not said to my mods or anything like that about this. This was a last minute kind of a type thing. So if anyone's here, at any, I'm not expecting anyone to be kind of a sticking around or anything, but if you are, if you could just kind of a periodically repost the link to the GoFundMe, that would be great. What I can actually do is I can highlight my, let's see, I can pin my message. So the link to the GoFundMe is at least pinned. Um, so yeah, uh, it's there for people to see when they pop in. But still, if we can repost it and stuff. Um, so just I suppose just um a wee bit about why I'm doing this. Rachel Pollack is one of the most kind of a special people in our sphere that there are. I'm pretty sure I don't think that I'll be able to come across anyone in the tarot world who Rachel hasn't influenced, affected, touched their life in some way, shape, or form. Um, she really is one of the, if not, the ultimate, founding mothers of everything we do in present day. Rachel's battling with cancer at the moment. As I understand it, the last update that I got is that she's still in hospital, but if she gets home, she's going to need home care, and that's what the GoFundMe is for. It's to raise funds so that they can pay for the at-home care that she's going to need. Um, so that's what we're doing. We're doing readings. It'll be if you've been here before when I've done kind of a fundraising type things. I'm encouraging people to go and donate to the cause in exchange for getting a reading. There's not going to be any kind of a police in it or anything like that. Um, as always with readings, there's certain types of readings that I'm comfortable doing, certain types that I'm maybe not so comfortable. So I'll obviously reserve my right to, say no thanks to refuse to do any reading. And yeah, I suppose that's it for the intro thing. The only other thing I wanted to do was to light a wee bit of incense, just to send lovely healing vibes out to Rachel. Um, we're holding her in our hearts and we hope that she makes as best a recovery as she absolutely can. The incense doesn't seem to want to come out. There we go. Um, I've got this down at the side here, but I might need to move it somewhere if we start to get smoked out. So we'll see how we get on with this. It would help if I lit it, wouldn't it? That would be absolutely fantastic. So we're lighting this for Rachel Pollack in the hopes that she makes as good a recovery as she can. And we're sending her lots of love and healing. There we go. Right, I'm going to pop that in there. Close that over and I'm going to stick it there. But like I say, if I start to get smoked out, I might move it. Right, let me see who's here because I can see that I've got lots of lovely, gorgeous people here. Even though it's not my regular time, even though it's early in the morning for, gosh, everyone that I can see so far, you've all popped on to see me. So I want to say a big thank you. Thank you, first of all, for you being here. Like I say, I'm not expecting everyone to kind of stick about. I appreciate you have work or things to do. It's a bank holiday Monday here, and it was actually an English bank holiday, but I get it off. So yeah, that's why I'm off work. So we've got our lovely Deanne from Blue Crescent Tarot was first in. Hey Deanne, I keep thinking I need to catch up with you, so I do. Let's see, we've got our lovely Debbie from Aquarius Owl. Hey Debbie, how are you? I hope that you're doing okay, Debbie. I know that you've been kind of having a tough time in your eyes as of late. So oh gosh, I'm really starting to get smoked out, but we'll see how we go on. See if it starts redirecting. Um, Regina's here. Hey Regina, how are you? In fact, we can't possibly not put this on when we know our lovely Regina's here. Let's see. Emmy the Grey says, "Good day, Chris and all. Can't stay, but thanks for raising visibility on this, Chris." You're welcome, Emmy. Thank you very much for being here. It's lovely to see you. And we've got Nancy from Macron's Intuition says, "Hi everyone, hi Chris." Hi Nancy, how are you doing? Feels like it's been a wee while from when I've seen you last. So yeah, I hope you're doing okay, Nancy. So yeah, right, we're moving this. We're moving this. What do you see? The smoke will start travelling over this way now. There we go. Go to Rachel. Thank you. I'll move my canning iron brew, otherwise that's going to start tasting like white sage incense. Right, questions, guys, pop them in the chat in capital letters, or if sometimes the capital letters thing stops the comment coming through. If that's the case, then just pop it in normal letters, but try and tag me at Elemental Cartomancy if you're on your computer. If not, don't worry, it's not as if the chat's totally jumping right now. I'm sure I'll catch it. If I don't for some reason, then you can shout at me until I do, okay? Um, but yeah, pop your questions in the chat. I've got a selection of decks here. In fact, let me just tell you quickly what I've got on the table out and ready. So I've got my trusty lightseers. This is my, this is my deck that I'm closest to, my soul deck, if you want to put it like that. It's the deck that always seems to have something to say to me. It never kind of a blank smear goes quiet on me, which is nice to have a deck like that. So that's, when I'm doing stuff like this, that's always on the table. I've got a Rider-Waite Smith here. This is one that I've got shuffled. It's got reversals and stuff shuffled into it. So if I feel like doing a reading where I just feel like doing reversals, I'll use this deck. Also, if somebody asks me a question about timing, where timing's important, um, then I'll use this deck to read timing on stuff. And just a wee bit of explanation of how I do that. It's not like I'm trying to say, this is definitely going to happen and this is exactly when. It's more, we can look at, shifts. When is that? When are like for example, if you want to know when is something going to happen in your career, when are you going to get that promotion? I can't say for sure when you're going to get a promotion, but what we can do is have a look at the kind of a trajectory and see when different shifts are going to happen in your career. And sometimes what will happen is they'll tell me, right, okay, well, it's going to happen then, but this is what needs to happen first, or this is what you need to be thinking about first before that can, to allow for that to happen. So that's just how that works. I've got my Marielle. This is fast becoming a deck that I use for all types of different situations. I know that Deanne knows that I like to use this deck a lot. I've got my Justin Dodal Tarot de Marseille, and this is just in case I feel moved to work with the Marseille. And then the only non-tarot deck that I've got here is the Soul Cards 1 and 2 Mega deck. So yeah, that is what I've got on the table in front of me. Debbie, it's not great, but surviving. I see the doctor tomorrow. Oh, I'm sorry, Debbie. I saw a post on Facebook lately when you'd said, it had been rough and you wouldn't wish it on anyone. So I'm sorry you're going through that. Oh, Nancy says, yeah, Chris, it's been a while for a live. So happy to be here. I've missed that lovely accent of yours. Oh, that's sweet, Nancy. I've missed seeing you. Oh, anyone got any questions for me? Or should we start off just by doing a general? How about that? Oh, a general reading for the collective in general. General reading for the collective in general. That wasn't very sophisticatedly put, was it? Ah, uh, Sneha. Is that how I say your name? Sneha. Um, the readings, I suppose they're free. What I'm doing is I'm encouraging people to donate to the GoFundMe for Rachel Pollack, who is unwell and is going to need care and stuff like that. And the GoFundMe is just to raise money for that. So I'm encouraging people, if they can, to donate to that in exchange for receiving a reading here today. So yeah, make of that what you will. If you could if you've got a question for me, if you could pop it in the chat, that would be great. But we're going to start off just by pulling some cards for the collectives for the week ahead. Okay. Okay, what do we all need to know for the week ahead then? This card wants to come out. Oh my goodness, these cards don't want to turn around. Wow. Yeah, that was more difficult than it should have been. It feels like there's some sort of return actually. I'm not sure if this is going to feel all that positive, but it feels as though something's been turned on its head, you know. There's a certain situation where, you know, the six in the middle almost represents it's like something's being put right, something's being given back, and you know, this might actually leave us feeling a wee bit short. Um, so yeah, it's going to be a bit of a funny one this week, I think. Almost feels as though something that's been put right that you know probably we've been kind of a leading up to and we've seen it coming. But it was one of those things that it was never going to be great when it happened, but it just so happens that it seems to be upon us this week. Um, so yeah, the you know the Five of Pentacles, it represents a time of feeling without, of feeling kind of a bit shortchanged, of feeling, you know, in a bit of hardship. But the lovely thing about the Five of Pentacles, the key is there for us. You know, you can see the key is available to the person to walk through that door whenever whenever they're ready to. And that's the thing. It's about being ready. So you know, as much as it might be a hard time for us, the key to getting through that is going to be within our grasp. It's not like, you know, oh, we're just having a rubbish time and there's nothing you can do about it. You know, there is going to be a solution there for us. We just need to kind of be able to see it. And sometimes it's not about literally seeing it. It's about, you know, being in the right mindset to be able to perceive the solution that's there and that's available to us. So that's kind of the general energy of the reading that we're seeing there. So I hope that that resonates with someone, or I hope that it helps you going through your week, just to know that things might feel a wee bit tough, but you know there is some positives there. There is some sort of access to a solution. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's see. Thanks, Deanne. Deanne, my lovely mod, Deanne from Blue Crescent Tarot, is posting the link for everyone for anyone that wants to go in and donate. Regina, trying to think of a good direct question. Thanks, Deanne. Just posted the links on my community tab. Oh, you're a wee star, Regina. Thank you so much. Let's see. Diane has donated and tipped 20% for my code for PayPal verification. Cool. Um, Kashish, welcome. Rupali, you can absolutely ask. So it's not so much free reads, it's I'm encouraging people to donate to the GoFundMe. So if you're wanting a reading, then I'm asking people if they can to donate to the GoFundMe that's linked. The message that's pinned, the link to the GoFundMe is there, and my lovely mods are reposting it every so often. Okay, we've got a question from our lovely Regina. What changes are coming up with the change of season? What changes are coming with the change of season? So going from summer into autumn. So what changes can we expect to see, or what changes can Regina expect to see with that change? I feel good. I feel good about the changes that are kind of upon you, Regina. Whatever it is, it involves kind of a almost like organizing. You know, you've been working hard. You've been working hard to create. There's lots of creative energy around you, but now it's time to actually apply some logic to what's been happening. And we see that in the Emperor, but we also see it in the King of Swords. It's almost like, right, I've been kind of putting in all this energy to create. I've been putting in all this energy to kind of manifest what it is that I want. Right now, it's time for me. Now that I've got all of that, now it's time for me to actually take a step back and think about, right, how can I order this? How can I arrange this? How can I organize this so as that it best serves me? And the fact we've got the six of batons, or the Six of Wands coming out, suggests that it's going in a really, really positive direction for you. Okay, there's lots of kind of a harmony coming out of it. There's a really good victorious feeling coming out of it. Okay, so whatever it is that you've been working hard on lately, with the change of season, you're going to start to kind of put that in order. You're going to start to think, right, okay, well, this would be really good for that, and I'm going to put that across in that way, so that people can, I don't know, well, for whatever reason, but you're going to put it across in such a way that it's going to kind of a best serve you, and we really see that with the Six of Wands. Okay, um, does that kind of give you an idea, give you something to go on? I hope that that's helpful. But I'm definitely like really, really strongly picking up on both with the Emperor and with the King of Swords. That's kind of a very sensible approach to things, very logical approach to things, and very kind of a right now it's time to get things in order. That seems to be what's going to kind of a shift in the coming with the shift of seasons for you. So I hope that that was helpful. Okay. Okay. Kashish. Uh, so you're just asking for a reading, so I'm assuming that it's just a general reading you're looking for. So I will just pull some cards for you and see what comes up. Whoops. Um, yeah, we'll just do a general because I'm not seeing any kind of a subsequent question that you've posted, and you've said that your comment is your question. Okay, let's see what comes up for you. Kashish, It looks as though there's maybe something that you've been struggling with, some sort of decision that you're maybe been struggling to make. You're kind of in two minds about something. Um, the, the issue, it's not intellectual. The issue isn't about knowing more about the problem. To be honest, I feel as though the issue for you is having the confidence to make up your mind, to, having the courage of your convictions. Okay. So if there's something that you've been struggling with, maybe it's not like an actual decision, okay, but maybe there's just some sort of inner turmoil, some sort of something you've been struggling with lately, and it's leading you to be unsure about how to go ahead. It's about confidence. That's the key to progressing to the next stage. That's the key to getting through it. You need to kind of just believe in yourself. Okay. If we don't really believe in ourselves, if you don't believe that you're able to make a decision, okay, if you don't trust yourself, then you're always going to find yourself in this place where you're like, well, I need to try and keep my options open, and trying to keep your options open and not committing to one path, it's leaving you stranded, at this fork in the roads. So it's all about the confidence. It's all about believing in yourself. Okay. And just go for it. Okay, the Three of Wands is my card that's telling you just go for it. Just do it. Whatever it is that you're not sure about, just believe in yourself. Just go for it. You can absolutely do it. Okay, and it's okay to make mistakes. That's the thing about the three, is it's a very early on energy. It's when we're still kind of it's when things are, we're still discovering what it is, how this thing fits into our lives. Okay, so just go for it. Let that energy fly. If we make mistakes and stuff, that's brilliant because it means we can learn from them, okay, and we can be better next time that it happens. But don't try and get everything absolutely 100% perfect before you've even set your foot out the door, okay? Because something's always going to come up that's not quite going to plan. Um, you kind of need to learn to just roll with the punches. You need to learn to just be adaptable, and just kind of tailor your path as to how things come up, if that makes sense. But like I say, that strength card is what you need to pay attention to. The lion is within her. Okay, that fierceness that she's looking for is within her. She's not going to get it from anyone else. So trust yourself, be confident in yourself, because you've got everything, all of the tools that you require, you have them in order to get yourself through. Okay, so I hope that that was helpful in some way, with something that you've been going through. Thank you so much, Deanne and Regina and anyone else who's been kind of helping me out here. Like I say, I didn't warn people or expect anyone to be here and doing this, so I really appreciate it. You are absolutely amazing. So you are. I'm going to open a door here. Give me 2 wee seconds. It's getting warm. Oh, geez, it's getting very warm very fast in here. Also, just need to keep my eye on my messages and make sure that my husband doesn't message me and saying, "You're using all the internet, I can't work," because he's downstairs working. Um, okay, yep, reads and exchange. Uh, I am not sure what that means, but I think that's a genuine question because, oh no, it's been retracted. Right, let's see. It's so easy to donate. Let's show Rachel how much we care. Yep, absolutely, Nancy. 100% agree with you there. Okay, Deanne's got a question for us. How can I best navigate my week ahead, especially in terms of information that I'm expecting to receive? How can you best navigate your week ahead in terms of information you're expecting to receive? Okay. Three of Pentacles, Deanne. That came up last time, didn't it? So the The Three of Pentacles is my card for the situation, and to me, that's talking about, working in conjunction with other parties. It's about coming together and trying to kind of contribute to something or create something that wouldn't have been possible just on your own. Okay, but it's about collaboration. It's about thinking as a group of people rather than just one person. Okay, so you're not just thinking about what it is that you've to receive or what you've to give out. It's trying to think about how everything fits into the bigger picture. Okay. The advice for you is the Page of Pentacles. So again, this is a very, very practical card. For me, the page it's about new ideas. It's about new things coming into the mix. The page is a kind of a fresh start, a new start. Okay. She's holding on to this pentacle and she's dancing on the spot. She's actually, I don't know if you can see in the card, but she's kind of rooted to the spot. Do you see that? No, because it's not really focusing. Do you see how she's rooted to the very center of this kind of a mandala type thing? Okay. So making sure that you're centered feels like good advice for you. Making sure that you're, whatever you're putting into the situation, whatever work it is that you're doing, whatever you're doing to contribute to it, just think about how that kind of melds in with what everyone else is doing, that kind of a thing. The outcome, 10 of swords. So for me, this is like it's the end of a painful situation. You've gone through what's been a really tough time for you. It's definitely left you with, um, let's say, with wounds, with scars that aren't going to be easily forgotten. Um, and your job with the 10 of swords isn't to forget the wounds. It's not to forget the scars. It's to learn from them, and to take that forward. And this is the thing, right? See, even with hit rock bottom. That sounds like I'm being very dramatic, right? But when we go through tough times, it makes us appreciate the good times. This rising sunset that's kind of in the card, or it's implied in the card, those tough times make us appreciate that all the more. So they do. So it's about going forward and just living life and living life, just kind of as it comes. Um, but do you see how, like, here we're very kind of a practical, and then when we start to look at the outcome, when we start to kind of a look at going forward, the element moves. Do you know what I mean? So there is definitely a shift coming for you soon. I just hope that it's sooner for you rather than later. But yeah, hopefully that's helped. Hopefully that kind of answers the question. Yeah, definitely. I'm pretty sure I pulled the Three of Pentacles for you reasonably recently, yeah. Um, but we'll see. I'll need to go back now and check actually, 'cause it'll annoy me. I hope that was helpful. And if you've got anything else you want to ask about it, then you feel free, you fire in. Okay. Okay. What A thinks and feels about me right now. Okay. Yeah. So this is you, this is A, and this is just the connection, I guess. This is the bridge. This is the how things join. Um, do you see how, like, you seem to be kind of like trapping yourself almost? The Eight of Swords represents being trapped by self doubt and limited thinking. Okay, when you look at what's happening in the picture, the girl, she's looking in the mirror and she sees herself being bound up by all these ravens, which represent thoughts, ways of thinking, thoughts, ideas. But when you look at her in actuality, that's not the situation. Okay, so she's kind of she sees herself as being bound, as being restricted, but in actual fact, she's not. It's not. She's seen the situation differently from what it actually is. Okay. Now you can take from that what you will, but that's how you're coming to this relationship in general. So to be honest, I think that's maybe something that you're going to want to address, okay? Because if this is representing how you're coming at it, then you need to kind of sort that out. You need to kind of move through that. You need to deal with that situation um, in order to make the relationship, if there is going to be a relationship there, in order to make that what it can be. Um, how they feel, and this is, this is your question. Um, Six of Coins. So the Six of Coins is a card that's about generosity and charity. So what I would say is this person, they don't dislike you. It's not like they have negative feelings towards you. If anything, I'd say, there's a certain endearment there. Whether these two things together, you know, the they seem to care about you, and they seem to kind of want to protect you. Whether they have a romantic incline towards you, I am not 100% sure, because that's the thing about the Six of Coins. I don't get romantic vibes from it. I get kind of a protective and caring vibes from it, which could be, that could be great. It could be exactly what you're looking for. Bear in mind what I've said about this, the bridge, the relationship in general, what we see as being the kind of a connect. Well, we've got Judgment. Now, Judgment, I see there being a big change coming soon. I see there being a big kind of a big aha moment, a big kind of a realization. It's going to move things on. Things are going to kind of move into a different phase, and they're going to be different from what they were before. Um, what that's going to look like isn't being shown here, but there is going to be a big change. Okay, now that could be it might be that there's a big change needed from you in order to kind of remove yourself from feeling restricted, from feeling this way. Um, it could be just the relationship, the dynamic between the two of you is that, that there's going to be some sort of change soon. Okay. But there's definitely, I think, some stuff there, to be worked on. I hope that that's helpful to you in some way. Um, yeah, let me know what you think. And Raka, thank you. I know that you posted your question in a different language at first, and you removed it, and you were kind enough to come back and post it in English. I do appreciate that. Thank you for doing that. I donated, but not for a reading. It's so important to show our Rachel how very much she means to us. Thank you for doing this. Thank you so much, Nancy, for donating. Really, really sweet of you. And thank you. Emma Jade, hi. I'm in a bit of a funk at the moment. Can you please let me know how the rest of the year looks? Let's see, what month are we on? So we're just coming into September. So why don't we pull a wee card for each month? The feeling that I'm getting, the King of Wands popped out there, and the King of Wands is my card for you basically choose whether you take an active part or, a non-active part, and each thing has its place. We need to know when to get our hands dirty and act, and we need to know when it's our job to actually stand back and just let things unfold, stand back and oversee the bigger picture. That's what the King of Wands' challenge is, really. What that's saying to me is right now, there's still 4 months left in the year. You still very much have a choice about, there's so much potential, and the wand suit is a suit of fire, so that so much potential for change, and for things to happen within the next 4 months. But you're going to want to take an active part in how that unfolds. Um, so yeah, but at least you've got the choice about how that's going to look. So let's see. So next month is September, and then we've got October, November, and December, and the tower popped out there. Um, So I feel as though there's maybe been a big change. In fact, what did you say? In a bit of a funk at the moment. Can you please let me know how the rest of the year looks? The tower basically represents, see that funk, that I feel as though that is going to really change soon. Um, you might find at the time when that change happens, it might feel like a curse. It might be a bit of a blessing in disguise. Okay, because when we go through those tower moments, they don't, they're not nicey nicey. They don't kind of hold our hands. They hit us like a ton of bricks, and it can be quite a tough thing to go through. So just be wary of that. It might feel like that at first. There is a change coming, okay? The Nine of Cups. So for September, we'll get the Nine of Cups, and some people call this the wish card, okay? Basically, what it's saying is you're going through a point in September where your heart is full, okay? You've kind of gotten everything that you wanted and that you dreamed for. And now it's time for you to ask, not think about what you need, but think about what you want. Okay. And this is why it's the wish card. Because usually it's like, right, I'm emotionally, I'm full, my cup is full. Now I can actually, I can get something that's just for me. I can spoil myself a wee bit, be a wee bit selfish. The Nine of Cups represents that kind of energy. Quite a lot of the time, the Nine of Cups, so it shows us basically being at a point where our heart is fullest, like I've kind of I said. I'm driving that phrase into the ground, but um, for that looks different for different people. Okay, so for me, it would show me being surrounded by the people that I love most, by my friends, by my family. That's my Nine of Cups moment, is being surrounded by everyone in my life that means a lot to me. Um, but that looks differently for different people. Okay. But just take advantage of that feeling, that happy feeling. Take advantage of it being the wish card. So you're more than likely going to get something that you want during this time. Um, we come into October and we've got, Guardian of the Sacred is the Hierophant, it's the High Priest, and it does represent changes happening, but it's more like a change in perspective. It's more like a change in how we're looking at things. We've been kind of coming at if it's a particular issue we're looking at, we've been coming at it in such a way, in a very kind of a logical, down to earth way. Um, Sometimes what we need to do is surrender control. And it's not until we surrender that control and have a bit of faith and, that things are going to turn out okay, that's when things start moving, okay? So that can sometimes be what the Hierophant represents to us. Sometimes it can be telling you to kind of it's the Hierophant is kind of about tradition sometimes, and it can be about learning and teaching. So if there's information that needs to be gathered, then you might want to kind of go to your elders, go to your people, go to people who've done it before, okay, and find out everything you can about what it is that you're trying to do uh, before you go ahead and try and do it. Gather as much information from those that have come before you as you can, because sometimes that's what the key is in the Hierophant card. When we come into November, we've got the Two of Cups, which represents some sort of relationship. Now, this can be a relationship to someone else, usually is, but it can also represent a relationship with ourselves. But the growth of that relationship. That relationship is growing. Our hearts grow full. You're coming together. Do you see how these two hands are coming together and their energies are intermingling and they're creating something new that the one alone couldn't have created. And it's that kind of that coming together of two souls that is off we often see in this card. So pay attention to those around about you in November. Pay attention to the people that you're getting together with. There's really kind of an opportunity there to grow that relationship, to find out more about each other, and potentially to create something new. December feels more, so you've got the Hermit for December. That feels more like where this was represented a coming together, this kind of a represents spending some alone time. Um, the I said the Hierophant is sometimes what he's telling us to do is to gather information from those around about. And to see how here we've got two cards that really represent community and coming together and emotions, relationships, connections to other people. We've got all that happening around about September, October, November. In December, the Hierophant is saying, sorry, the Hermit, what he's saying to you is, right, there's only so much information that you can get from other people. There needs to come a point where you have the confidence to step out on your own, to believe in yourself, and to have the knowledge that everything that you need is within you. And in December, I really feel as though that's where we're getting to. In December, you've reached the point where everything that you need to progress, to move through, if this is a situation, or maybe it's just kind of a life in general, but everything that you need is within you. Okay, it might be about spending some time alone, spending some time by yourself, on yourself, in order to kind of realize that and find that within yourself and have that confidence, to know that you can do this just because because of the person that you are. The person that we see kind of looks as though she's floating. I think she's sitting on the mountain, but the light is actually coming from within her. It's not a lantern. It's not out with her. It comes from within her. Okay, everything that she needs to navigate this night that we see, is coming from within her, and that's what I'm seeing for December. Okay, so I'm seeing lots of kind of a September, October, November. There's lots of kind of a happy feels in terms of the community and the people around about you, and I think you should take full advantage of that. Okay, getting together with people, collaborating, building on relationships and connections that you've got. In December, I'm not saying you need to kind of become a literal hermit. Okay, we still kind of can maintain those relationships, but just having that kind of a self-respect and giving yourself that me time in order to kind of build on yourself. I feel as though that's more what's needed in December. Okay. And just the tower in general was talking about a big shake up, a big change happening. Okay. Sometimes it can feel rather unpleasant. So just be aware that that might be coming, and it might not come in the most gentle fashion. Okay, but you're definitely going to get the shake up that you're looking for, that you're asking for. And remember as well that kind of wands that I was talking about at the start that jumped out. That kind of remember how important it is to take an active part in what's happening to us, and not just kind of a sit back all the time and let things unfold. You're never going to be able to control everything, of course, but we need to kind of control the things that we can control and surrender to the things that we can't. Okay, I hope that was helpful, Emma. Thank you so much, Regina. You're an absolute star. Um, Thank you, Deanne. Happy soul. What was Anushka thinking about me from when she saw me crying crossroad and staring at her? So what was Anushka thinking about Happy Soul when she saw them crying crossroad and staring at her? Oh, we had the Queen of Wands popping out. Happy Soul. Let me pull some cards and see what we think. I'm thinking that you might want. I'm presuming because you're asking the question that you care about what Anushka thinks, that what Anushka was thinking about you at that time is important to you, and it's important to you that they perhaps understood why you were upset, why you were crying at that crossroad when they saw you. Um, the fact that the Queen of Wands has popped out when I've been shuffling thinking about that question, it suggests to me that they might have misunderstood. They might actually have seen it as some sort of cry for attention, because that's the thing about the Queen of Wands is they are the star of the show. They're the celebrity of the tarot. Um, the they like the attention to be on them. So it might be that Anushka felt as though what you were doing was for attention. I'm not saying that it was, but just whether it was or wasn't, that might be how they interpreted it. So you might actually want to clarify with them. If it's important to you what they think, you might want to go to them and say, look, I know you saw me that day. Like, I just want to chat to you about this and let you understand that I wasn't being attention seeking. I wasn't that wasn't a whole kind of a all eyes on me type situation. This is why I felt the way that I felt. Okay, let's pull some cards and see. Yeah, I mean, there's the so I feel as though this is kind of this is there representing you. This represents your question, I guess. This perhaps represents Anushka. And do you see how they're kind of looking off in the other direction? They don't really have much sympathy, and maybe this is why. Maybe they feel like it's like, you want to be the star, you want to have the spotlight, which is what's actually happening here in the Sun card. I think that you need to have a conversation and you need to just kind of clarify what exactly where you were coming from, what you were feeling, be on open, have an open and honest conversation with them and just let them know, look, this is how I felt and this is why I felt that way. And they can take that and do with that what they will, but at least then you'll know, at least you will know that they understand where you were coming from, and at least you'll know how they truly feel about the situation, having understood it a bit more. But I feel as though some work is maybe needed. So a conversation needs to happen in order for everyone to understand. Because I don't feel as though right now that they've really got where you were coming from. So I hope everything's okay. I hope you're doing all right. And yeah, I hope everything works out okay with you and Anushka. Oh, hi, Jen. This is a lovely surprise to finally catch you live again. It's lovely to see you. I was thinking about you this morning, so I was. And to be honest, I can't really remember why I was thinking about you. I think I'd seen you on Facebook. I'd seen something to do with, oh, it was your roses actually. And I think I maybe saw that yesterday. But then this morning I was thinking about roses and I remembered you. I remembered your nails as well. Your nails were lovely. But yeah, I hope you're doing okay. It's lovely to see you. Um, hey Orshay, how you doing? So sometimes I write them down, sometimes I don't. But you're right. Oh, they're reading the three of discs. Sciencey bits, Jen. Just browsing through to see if I can see anyone asking questions. You're very welcome, Kashish. I hope that it was helpful for you. Hi, Tanya. Vanessa Wu, what does my future with my current partner look like regarding finances? Oops. So financially, what does the future have in hold for you and your current partner? Things definitely feel as though they're moving right now. I feel as though you've been doing some work lately in order to put your finances in order, in order to just kind of bring things under control. You've maybe been saving up, or maybe you've just been working really hard in order to build up some sort of capital, some sort of financial, stability for yourself. That's what we see in the Emperor there, and that's given way to the Eight of Batons in the present, which is represents high energy. Okay. What I would say to you is just be careful, because sometimes it can be easy to get carried away with this high energy, and before you know it, all your savings are gone. So just make sure that you're being sensible. Make sure that if you need to, that you stop and just take stock, have a look at the situation, and just make sure that you don't kind of that stability that you've worked hard in order to cultivate. Make sure that you don't blow that in one fell swoop. Um, In saying that though, this doesn't necessarily need to be a bad thing. That's just something that I want you to watch out for. Okay, this could very well be that, this stability that you've worked hard to build for yourself, this is what it's allowing for. This is it pushing you to new heights, and it's allowing you to do new things. And you'll be feeling that at present. This is in the kind of a current situation type position. Okay, so this high energy, I feel as though you're maybe kind of starting to feel that. Um, what does the future hold? And this is kind of where we come to answer your question. Well, there's definite shift in energy here. Okay. So I want you to be doing your best to kind of you know, make sure you've always got something saved for a rainy day. My gran used to say to me, always make sure you've got a wee bit of money in the bank to save you for a rainy day. And what she means by that is, or what she meant by that was, make sure that you're always keeping something aside in case you need it, in case of emergency. Okay. Um, the six of swords doesn't need to be a bad. It could purely just be saying that the money that you've built up for yourself is going to let you travel at some point in the future. Movement over water, travel. These are things that we can see in this card, but equally, what we can also see is that we're having to remove ourselves from a difficult situation. Okay. This can be a card of, bringing harmony back into our emotional and psychological selves. So sometimes it can represent that something has gone quite wrong. Okay. So just make sure that you're keeping something by that the money, the funds, the money that you've worked hard to build. You want to be careful that you don't blow all that. You want to be careful that you're kind of keeping a wee bit by, just in case you happen to need it. Okay. I sincerely hope that this does just represent some sort of nice travel that you've got coming up in the future. But in the event that it does represent perhaps a bit of a tough time, a bit of a tough situation, hopefully the situation that you've built yourself, that you've built for yourself so far, will be strong, such that it will sustain you through this. Okay, it will get you over to the other side, to those calmer waters, and you can continue on. Okay, so what I would say is that there's definitely the potential there for, and so you're asking about your finances in regard to the future. There's the potential there for that to be quite secure, but I feel as though you need to be thinking about that now. You need to be taking actions now that are going to make sure that you've got something there in case of emergencies. So yeah, I hope that's helpful. I really feel as though there's lots of potential. When we see fire cards and the Emperor is linked to Aries, wands are to fire. When we see fire cards turning up, there's always a lot of potential for change. Okay, we're always looking at very volatile situations, and let's be honest, like unless you're an absolute billionaire and you've got money coming in faster than you can spend it, then that's always going to be the situation with our finances, because there can always be something that that you see and you think, oh, I really really want that. I'm going to spend all my money on it, and then before you know it, you've got nothing left. Um, it's just about always thinking to the future, always being sensible about it, and making not being stingy with yourself. Like, we still want to kind of be generous with ourselves, and we want to make sure that we're leading happy lives, and we have things that are um, that make us feel that make us feel full. Okay, and sometimes money seems to be the key to everything these days. So sometimes it does take just treating yourself. Um, it can be something for me personally, like later on this afternoon, I know I'm going for a coffee with my friend, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be my wee treat to myself before I start back work again tomorrow. And it's a wee bit of money spent, but I know that how happy it will make me will be worth it. So this is what I mean. We don't want to be stingy with ourselves. We just want to be sensible. So I hope that's helpful in some way. I hope that's answered your question. And thank you very much for your question, Vanessa. Okay, let's see. Shiksha has said, is there a free list? So I think Deanne's answered your question, Shiksha. So hopefully you've kind of understood that okay. If you've got a question and you're happy enough to kind of donate a wee bit to the GoFundMe, then please pop your question in the chat and I'll be happy to answer it. Same Red Rose. Thank you so much, Deanne and Regina. I really appreciate what you're doing. Will I receive a message and reconcile with Aryan? Let's have a look. We get three of our Pentacles quartz in one reading. How weird is that? Like these cards are completely shuffled. Like they've not been in order since I first got them. So right, okay. So in answer to your question, I don't think that it's going to happen if you just rest on your laurels. I think you're going. Feels I'm saying this a lot today. Um, so if I sound like a broken record to those of you that are been here from the start, then apologies. But I do feel as though you're going to have to actually take an active part in this. Do you see how the Queen is facing one way with her eyes shut? Like she's quite comfortable. She's not going anywhere. And this to me represents you. Okay. Right now, it seems to me like you're waiting for them to contact you. You don't really have any intention to make a move and contact them. They are going completely off in the other direction, and it doesn't it looks as though they've actually got their mind on something. They've got something that they're doing, and they're not right now thinking about, contacting you, okay? If we're gonna sort this situation out and get it to a point where he's walking towards you and you're looking towards him, there needs to be some sort of big change. So there does. The way that things are lying just now, I just don't feel as though I don't feel as though there's some sort of communication coming, I'll be honest. So grab that bull by the horns, take an active part in it, contact them, send them a message, get in contact with them. And then, I mean, there's nothing like negative in this. Okay, so when we're looking at the connection between the two of you, we've got the King of Pentacles. To me, that's a really good foundation for a really stable relationship. Okay, so it's not like it's necessarily negative. We just need to kind of redirect things a wee bit. Okay, so right now that's not the way it's looking. But I would encourage you, like I've said, to take an active part in that. Contact them. Okay, grab the bull by the horns, get involved in it, take an active part, contact them, and if reconciling the relationship is what you're looking for, then you know you're the Queen of Pentacles. You've got a warm heart. The Queen of Pentacles creates a safe space for almost anyone, and no one more so than the Knight of Pentacles is looking for that safe space. Safe space. Okay. Um, just you've got it within you to um to bring about this reconciliation. I just think that you're going to have to actually um, be active in it, be an active component in the whole situation and not a passive one. Okay, so I hope that's helpful for you. And yeah, best of luck for how it all turns out. Emma, I'm really glad that that was helpful for you. Yeah, she'll just answered your question. How does Megan, the makeup artist, feel about me? Will she respond to my nice message soon? Asks Red Rose. And your name is Raffia. It's platonic. Um, okay. How does Megan feel about you? And will she respond to my message soon? Oops. Okay, I'm feeling quite good about this actually. I do feel as though there is some sort of response coming in. There's lots about communication here. Whoops, every card has some sort of link to communication. The Eight of Wands, it's all about messages traveling through the air. So with that, we've got Mercury linked to the Magician. Mercury also all about kind of a messages and going between, and then the Page of Swords as well. Messages coming in, particularly like electronic messages and that kind of thing. I definitely feel as though you're going to get the response that you're looking for. This doesn't tell me much about how they feel about you though. Let's see if we can um let's see if we can bring about some sort of answer to that. Right, so right now they don't feel as though they know you as well as what they would like to. They only feel as though they're seeing a part of you. And that's crucial to how things progress. So if you want to kind of foster some sort of positive, I know you said platonic, but if you want to foster some sort of positive relationship out of this, I feel as though you need to kind of let yourself be a wee bit vulnerable, let yourself be seen, open up to them. Um, and not necessarily just letting them see the parts of you that you want them to see. It's about being truly open and honest, and being vulnerable with them. I feel is the answer. So, an answer to your question, there's certainly no negative feelings, but they maybe just feel as though I don't know that person as much as what I would like to. They want to get to know you more. And I don't feel as though they feel very strongly one way or the other right now. And I don't think they will until they get to know you more. So there's an answer coming, and they want to get to know you more. Okay. I hope that's helpful. Oh, will I get a paying and fulfilling job in September? Let's have a wee look at how your career, how your employment life is looking in September. There's definitely something happening. I feel as though there's definitely an opportunity there for a job in September. Whether that's going to be well paid and leave you feeling really fulfilled, I'm not sure. It's potentially going to be a stepping stone for you to get to that place. But I don't. If you're asking me, are you going to get your dream job where you're going to be so happy and you're going to be bringing in all the money? I don't see it being that way. I see there being potential for something to happen, so long as you're willing to make that step and take your active part in that. So if that means going for job interviews, that means putting yourself out there, you have to be willing to do that. Okay, the Three of Wands, you need to take action yourself in order to kind of bring about that change, that um, that change up that you're looking for. The Four of Cups and the Four of Swords, sorry, is perhaps saying that it's not going to leave you feeling really kind of enthusiastic and stimulated like you would want to, but there's definitely an opportunity there to learn from it. There's definitely skills there that can be learned that you'll be able to take forward. Okay. Um, and yeah, let's see. I'm curious now. Let's have a wee look and see when there are going to be major shifts in your career. Okay, so when are we going to see shifts in Owen's career? Four of Cups and Four of Cups. Um, so in about a year's time, you're looking at between mid-June next year and mid-July. Okay. Um, is when we're going to see that change, but it's going to take, you need, this is something, see this, the original, this is something that you're going to have to go through. I also feel as though there's something that you're quite conflicted about, and this is maybe linking in with this, there's something that you're not quite sure about how to go forward. There's a decision that needs to be made, some sort of stalemate that needs to be broken. Um, that and the whole kind of the this Four of Cups situation that we're seeing. So um it's almost like there's opportunities there that you're not quite seeing, and it's to do with mindset and the way that you're feeling about things. These are things that you're going to have to work through before in order to kind of make way for this situation. But I feel as though it's coming around about next mid-June, mid-July next year. Okay. Um, so yeah. I hope that that's helpful. But in answer to your question, in September, there is definitely potential for something different to happen, for some sort of change to happen. I feel as though it's a really good stepping stone. And the big shift next year, if you can kind of work through this, if you can work through maybe being able to kind of appreciate more the small things, appreciate the opportunities that can be had in the small things, then that will kind of just pave the way for you to have this opportunity next year. Okay. There we go. I hope that was helpful. Bye, Oshay. See you later, Nancy. You enjoy your breakfast, and thank you so much for being here. Vanessa, you're very, very welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your question. Um, you're so welcome, Shiksha. And you, Red Rose. She did my makeup once as well, but it's been a while. I recently followed her and sent her a message. It's just been like a day or so. But she could be busy with work, right? Okay. Sarabi, so I'm taking it there's a question being formulated there, so I'll wait for that to come through. Hey Jamie, how you doing? Oh, 6:05 a.m. there. Geez, oh, early in the morning. Have you got your early morning coffee delivery? Spirit Wing says, I would love a reading if I'm not too late. You're not too late at all. You're more than welcome. If you've got a question, if you could pop it in the chat for me, Spirit Wing. Oh, I can see you have. You popped a question in for me, so thank you. Let's see. Okay. I've had an incredible run of bad luck, mainly with injuries, etc. Feeling very depressed about it all, and I would like a general reading on what would be helpful for me right now. Okay. Okay, we're going to do this a wee bit differently, actually. Okay. So, right, okay, so the magician is coming out as the situation. So the magician is always encouraging us to think about the active part that we have in the things that are going on around about us. The magician is showing us the tools that we have in our bag. He's showing us our abilities and how they can kind of just create our path going forwards. The fact that it's coming up here, the thing is, right, see when we talk about luck, and this isn't, I'm really just thinking out loud here, right? This isn't meant to be, um, certainly not like an accusation and anything. I know that's automatically gonna make it sound more like that, but when we talk about luck and stuff like that, we kind of almost remove our autonomy from the situation. When we think about it, something being to do with luck, bad luck, or whatever, it's almost like we're removing all self responsibility out of it. And the magician is just asking us to think about, how are our actions influencing the situation? Okay. So that's the first card. What you should do. So the Three of Pentacles is this is a spread. It's basically the situation. Do this and don't do this, and it's kind of inspired by, or pretty much is a spread that. So we're here to raise money for Rachel Pollack. It was Rachel's friend Zoe that created this spread. It's often called the Zoe spread. For do this, we've got the Three of Pentacles. So put your energy into something creative. Potentially, the cards are wanting you to come together with other people or with someone else to some sort of collaborative project. Okay, so there's some sort of opportunity there to create something and to come together with other people. If you know what that is, then I think that you're definitely being encouraged to take them up on that, to take that. Um, what you shouldn't do. Um, So, do you see how the king is just kind of he's very much isolated from everything else. He's not really doing anything. Um, it's almost like he's isolated himself from society. He's out in the sea, you know. Um, whatever it is that's been going on with you, it feels like your instinct is to wrap yourself up in cotton wool to protect yourself and just like kind of almost take a step back. But I think what they're saying to you is don't do that. That's not how you're going to kind of get yourself through this run of bad luck or whatever it is. You need to get out there, get your hands dirty, get in and amongst different people, get yourself involved in projects, creative projects, coming together with others. It might just be that, the work that you do, whatever your job is, just getting yourself into work, getting yourself involved, all that kind of a thing. Um, that to me feels like the way forward rather than doing what the King of Cups is doing, which is removing yourself, sitting in your emotions. That doesn't feel like the way forward. It feels like action, action, action is what is needed, rather than kind of just having this kind of a far removed approach. So yeah, I hope that that's helpful. And I really hope that the run of bad luck that you've been having, I hope that you know, it stops soon, and that things start feeling a wee bit more positive to you. Because I know what it can be like, when you're going through a tough time. Um, so yeah, best of luck to you. Best of luck. Um, and yeah, I hope that things start looking more positive for you soon. Okay. So you said you're off sick right now with a sprained shoulder, so it's difficult to connect or to be creative. Okay. Okay. Um, fair enough. you obviously need to take the time that you need to heal. Um, but I still, with the cards that were laid out, I definitely feel as though don't let that recovery period run further than what it needs to. I don't. I've put them back into the deck now, but did you see how the current situation was the magician, and the magician was sitting in that meditative state? The don't do this card was the King of Cups, and he was also sitting in that same position. These two cards were both sitting cross-legged in a kind of a meditating position. Um, so I mean, if even if I thought the cards were saying, you just need to stop being over, I would never say that because I don't think that's for a deck of cards to tell you. But what I would say is you'll know yourself when it's time for you to get back into things. When you have that opportunity, you might want to think about taking it. Okay, when you're ready, then go for it. Um, I hope that that's helpful for you. There is no list, Joshan. If you could just pop your question in the chat, and like the lovely Deanne is saying, I'm raising money for Rachel Pollack, so the GoFundMe will be linked, pinned in the chat. So if you're able to, then if you could donate to that in exchange for the reading, that would be great. Oh, I am roasting. So I hope everybody's doing okay today anyway. I know I've not really had much opportunity to chat and have conversation today. That's fine because that was the intention. It was supposed to be a readings based live. But just while I've got a wee bit of time, just wanted to check in with everybody. How's everyone doing? Um, Hope we all had a good weekend. Did we get up to anything exciting? Oops, strength. Jamie is having her first sip of coffee. Very nice. I've not actually had any coffee today. I've just been drinking tea. So I've got a massive cup of tea here that I've actually not drank very much of at all, as you can see. Um, but I'm really, really warm. I'm absolutely roasty toasty. So that's why I've been, I suppose it's going kind of a cool now, so it's not as bad. The weekend already feels like it was forever ago to me, says Jen. Um, how's Carl doing, Jen? And how's Dean? How's everybody doing? Is everyone doing okay? Feels not I've not spoke to you in a wee while. Had a really nice weekend. Lunch day on a patio with my husband on Friday. That sounds lovely. Shopping time and the tarot room and some Game of Thrones. Sounds pretty good. Um, what did I do? I had a great day with my niece on Friday. We just did our usual. We did the shopping. We went for a coffee. Um, she's only 4, so she is. But she loves our wee coffee date that we have every Friday. It's great. We both really enjoy it. Um, and on Saturday we had friends over and we had a wee movie and cocktail night. We watched Scary Movie, the first one. and then we watched It Chapter 2. And I was a I can't even call it a cocktail. I was drinking Malibu, which is a coconut type drink, Malibu and Pepsi Raspberry. So it's this kind of a, like, raspberry snowball-y type drink. It was beautiful. Um, and yesterday, oops, didn't really do much again. We went into town for a wander. So in our town just now, in our city, the kind of the council workers that deal with sanitation, so the empty bins and public bins and stuff like that, they're on strike because they want to be paid more money, which is fair enough. Um, but it means that our city centre is absolutely disgusting. There's litter everywhere, and we've got quite a clean city, so we have. Like, they do a really good job, and now we can really appreciate how good a job they do because they've only been on strike for a few days, and town is like, there's rubbish. All the bins are overflowing. There's rubbish blowing through the streets everywhere. The streets smell horrible. It smells like a sewer. Um, yeah, it's a real shame, so it is, so I'm hoping that that'll all get resolved, and things will go back to what they should be soon. But that was my day yesterday, and then today I just pretty much chilled for most of the morning, watched some YouTube and some Facebook videos and stuff, and then came and spent this time with you lovely lot. 11:20 PM here, and I'm still sipping coffee, says Jen. Gosh, after After about 7 PM, that's my beyond 7, it's no caffeine, for me. So yeah, there's no way you'd catch me drinking coffee unless it was decaf coffee at 11:20. Hashtag hot Scotsman, says Deanne. Um, oh, is that in Game of Thrones? Right. Watching the original series again of Game of Thrones. Cool. Dean is good. Carol's driving now. Yeah, I saw that. I think that was what I saw that on Facebook quite recently, about him passing his test. So congrats to him. I hope he's doing well with it. But he's really one of my most favourite people to be around. That's so sweet. Oh, yeah, pay the people indeed. Um, right, okay, I've got you. Well, thank you very much. I haven't worked since July the 11th. Just been on one long, horrible weekend. Oh, I'm sorry, Debbie. Um, Gosh, it's a long, long time. It's coming up for 2 months now. You've been off. Is there any kind of is there a prognosis? Is there a recovery period in mind, an expected recovery period, or have you just got to, wait and take things how they come? Right, Jashan Sidhu, you asked to be added to the list, but you've not popped a question in. So if you're still here, if you could pop your question in the chat, and I'll absolutely pull some cards for you. It might be that you're away by now, because I know that I was slowly making my way through the chat there. So, uh, what time are we on? We're on 25 past 2. I've been doing this an hour and 25 minutes. So I'll give it another 5 or 10 minutes. If we don't get more questions, I might. Oh, Jamie's just popped one in. But if there's no more questions, then I'll wrap up. Um, and yeah, I'll let everyone get on with their day. But Jamie says, can I have a general reading for the week? You sure can. Right, Matt, I've been doing this for the day, but for the week, one card for the theme, or basically what's going on. One card is the advice of the week, and one card is the opportunity. So for the theme, we've got the Ace of Swords coming out. So this to me represents some sort of new way of looking at things, some sort of new way of thinking, a new idea. Um, Basically some sort of change is coming into the situation. Maybe it's just the fact that it's a new week, but I feel as though there's some sort of change happening this week for you, Jamie. And it's going to kind of, I suppose, just open your mind up to new possibilities. The advice is to keep your cool with things. King of Cups is the master of the emotions, you know. Um, the kings have all got their eye on the bigger picture, and when it comes to their individual elements, they kind of keep things in order. So the king of water or cups is all about kind of keeping the emotions in order. Sometimes that means being the diplomat, being the negotiator, being the one that people can go to when shit's hitting the fan. You know, when there's disagreements and stuff that needs to be worked out. Um, Sometimes that's kind of what the King of Cups represents, but all in all, it's about kind of having mastery over your emotional self. Um, the opportunity that we've got, so I mean, there's definitely an abundance of opportunity there. Whether you're going to kind of take that up, I'm not sure. Because right now, the way things are going, it's almost like she's not seeing the opportunity that's there for her. Maybe that's what the new frame of mind is all about. It's about approaching it with a beginner mindset, looking at the situation differently, so as that you can kind of turn your head and see those opportunities. Okay, so it's not that there's not opportunities there, but right now, just in the place that you are, you're not seeing them. Okay, so I suppose there's an opportunity to see the opportunities that are around about you. I think is what this is trying to say. Um, but yeah, I hope that that's helpful. Let's pull a wee soul card for you. It's a very moon feel, doesn't it? Almost, you've heard that saying, the man in the moon, the man on the moon. This feels like basically a face on the moon to me. Um, so the moon for me always represents the emotional realm, but it speaks to how we feel about the situations that are unfolding. So this week you might feel as though things are being turned on their head a wee bit, but that's okay because this almost feels like things need to kind of be turned on their head. Things need to be shaken up a wee bit in order for you to see this beautiful rainbow that's on the other side. Okay. Um, Sometimes when we're going through a moon phase, it feels like the twilight zone. It feels like very surreal, and it can be unfamiliar and difficult to navigate. But it's the key to it is not trying to kind of clamber back to what we had before. It's about embracing the new norm. And once you can do that, then you can really harness that moon energy, I think. Um, And remember, the moon illuminates what the sun can't, okay? So the moon shines light on things differently, but different things as well. So again, we're looking at this kind of a new realization, new ideas, new way of looking at things. Um, Maybe this kind of a whole emotional situation that we're seeing this week is going to let you see things a bit differently. Okay, we've put money down on a building for a clinic, and I'm quite cynical about everything until I see it all done. Well, I hope best of luck with how that's going to turn out. Let me see. It's my mouse. Open and burning things for you. All right. Okay. 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 So I, I mean, put money down on it, but if you put money down on it, then you've already kind of made the decision, and um, yeah, with the King of Cups, what I was going to say there was he feels as though he's got a very kind of a tangible connection to the things that he's dealing with. To see how he's sitting in the sea, he's sitting in his element, that he's touching the sound bowl. Everything's very kind of a very like it's a sensory experience. So make sure that when decisions are being made, that you're not just approaching them intellectually or emotionally. It's all about immersing yourself in the experience and just almost experiencing it, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Um, but yeah, the building belonged to my mum, so it's bizarre to know we will own a building that she had. That's pretty cool. Best of luck. I hope that it all goes well. I suppose if it belonged to your mum, that's maybe why it's showing up as this kind of a emotional experience as well. Sometimes the moon will come up when we feel emotional about a situation that we wouldn't normally have felt emotional about. So putting money down on a property is usually a very kind of a earthly task, a very earthly thing to do. It's not something that might always bring about that emotional response in us. I know it will with some of us, but with a lot of us, it's very kind of a all business, business, business. But the fact that your mum used to own it is what's bringing that kind of a moon energy and that water element really kind of a into the situation. So it is. Um, Lots of emotion and brain power behind it. Yeah. Okay. I'm glad it was helpful, Jamie. Okay. I'm still highlighted on Jashan's comment. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. But there was Jamie's question. Um, Blue Sky, please may I ask how Amber feels about me? Friendly. She hasn't replied to my birthday message yet, sadly. How does Amber feel about Blue Sky? This Three of Pentacles is coming up a lot, isn't it? I don't think that there's anything negative there in it, Blue Sky. I don't think that there's any bad reason why Amber hasn't replied to you. I just think that they've got a lot on just now. Chariot, things are moving fast, things are moving forward. It's all systems go. Even the Three of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups, we're seeing people who are active and immersed in stuff and doing stuff. So it's not that they're being like, just a way to respond to them. That's not it at all. I think it's probably more the situation where they're like, oh right, okay, Blue Skies sent me that nice message. I'm busy just now, but I'll kind of come back to them later. You know, Sometimes I am the world's worst for looking at a message and thinking, all right, okay, I'll need to reply to them when I've finished work or when I've done such and such a thing. And then after I finish work, I've forgotten. So don't think too much about it. It might just be that they're so busy that it's kind of a gone out their head to respond to you. Um, there's nothing negative here. It's just about the kind of the sheer busyness of that person's life that's led them not to respond. It's nothing. There's nothing bad there. There's nothing negative, and I feel as though things look pretty good for them. So they're some really positive times. The Nine of Cups, the Wish card, that might be them on their birthday, getting what it is that they want. Um, but anyway, yeah, things are busy, things are hectic, things are all systems go. And I'm sure that once things have calmed down a wee bit for them, they'll hopefully issue you with some sort of response. Um, so yeah, let's see what's happening with the soul card here. Yeah, so it almost feels as though, once she's got time to actually stop and take things in, then, you see how the energy's coming in blue and red, and it's kind of a going towards her heart. She's maybe just not had the time to stop and process things yet. But once Amber does have that time, then they'll probably be in touch. Um, but just you might want to send them a wee message or something. Just see how you doing, kind of a thing. A wee message to see how they are. It might be that they have forgotten just because things are a bit hectic, and maybe just a wee push. A wee message saying, "Hi Amber, how are things? How are you doing? Um, did you end up having a nice birthday?" Something to that effect, and that will make them think, "Oh shit, yeah, I meant to message them back and I didn't." Um, you know, you might want to take an active part in it rather than just kind of a sitting and waiting for them to remember. Okay, you're very welcome, Jamie. I'm glad it was helpful for you. Okay, dokes. 20 to 3. I wonder how we've done. I wonder how who's had a few donations since we started this. So I can see that we've definitely had a good 4, maybe 5 donations, maybe even 6 since in the well, there's 6 donations that seem to have come through in the time that we've been doing this. That doesn't, of course, mean that they've all come from people watching this stream. It might just happen to be that people have donated at the same time as we've been doing this. But it looks like we're doing really well. It looks like we've managed to at least. Well, I know that I can see um a couple of donations that I know have come from us. So that's amazing. That's brilliant. Well done, guys, and thanks very much for for being here and for doing that. It means a lot. Jamie says you put your cards back the same way I do. Is that kind of a sifting them into the deck, like in different places? Um, yeah, I do that because uh, generally what I'll do is I'll pull from the top. Sometimes I'll spread the cards out. I think I've done that a couple of times today, and just pick from random points in the deck. In which case it doesn't matter if they just all go back in one clump. But I would take to have all the same cards as I had in a previous reading. That I would just know in my head that they were the same, and I would be thinking, "Have I just not shuffled right? Have I just not shuffled right?" So that's why I like to put them in different places, so I know that they're because I'm weird. Yep, exactly what I'm talking about. um, just went. Yeah, it's okay. It's nothing serious. And Jane does it as well. Yeah, I like doing it that way. I like to have a nice, well shuffled deck. Oh, right. Well, I think. So we've been going for an hour and 40 minutes. I think the questions have kind of come to a stop for today. Um, I can see that we've managed to get a wee bit of money donated towards the GoFundMe, which is amazing. I'm now going to go and donate to it. And yeah, we've 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 done what we wanted to do. So thank you so much to you guys for being here. Um, let's see. I love things that connect us. Yeah, same, Jamie. Jen says, catching you live has been the best way to end a Monday. Sending big love to all. Thank you so much for being here, Jen, and thanks to everyone who's been here. It really means a lot that you guys have kind of been here and stayed. It was very much just going to be like a drop-in live where people pop in for the reading and then pop away again. So the fact that you guys have been here has been really nice, and a special thanks has to go to uh, Jen and oh, wait, to Deanne and to Regina was what I was going to say, because you guys have been posting the link for me, um, and kind of just letting people know as they've come in what it is that we're doing. So I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for doing that. Um, Jones Davy has popped in at the end to say thanks so much for doing this. Thank you so much, Jones. It's lovely to see you. I've saw that you commented on my video on the Shimmering Veil. So you need to I think you did anyway. I might be mixing apples and pears here, but you need to let me know if you end up getting it. Right. Take care, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I shall see you all later. Enjoy and have an amazing week. Bye bye, everyone.